Mariska Hargitay, the iconic actress best known for her portrayal of the tough yet compassionate detective Olivia Benson on Law and Order. Special Victims Unit, has recently shared a fascinating glimpse into her early career aspirations that took an unexpected turn. Long before she became synonymous with one of television's most enduring characters, Hargitay dreamed of a life in comedy, auditioning multiple times for a starring role on the legendary sitcom Friends. Specifically, she tested for the part of Monica Geller, the meticulous chef and central figure in the ensemble of 6 friends navigating love, life, and laughter in New York City. Although Courtney Cox ultimately embodied Monica alongside Jennifer Aniston, Matthew Perry, Lisa Kudrow, David Schwimmer, and Matt LeBlanc across 10 wildly successful seasons, Hargitay's pursuit of that comedic dream reveals the serendipitous paths of Hollywood and how fate can redirect even the most determined ambitions. Hargitay vividly recalled her early days as a struggling actor in Los Angeles, fresh off appearances on shows like Seinfeld and Single Guy. "I did Seinfeld, I did Single Guy," she shared during a candid conversation on the Good Hang podcast with Amy Poehler. "I tested for Friends so many times. I think it's Monica." This relentless auditioning underscored her belief in her comedic talents. "I always thought that I would end up being on a sitcom or doing comedy," she confessed. At the time, after her stint on ER, she was grappling with her next move. Holding a development deal with DreamWorks, she was pitching a show akin to Ally McBeal, a clever dramedy blending serious drama with humor. "I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I loved your butt. I was developing a show and it was a la Ally McBeal where it was a dramedy." Deep down, however, she yearned for drama infused with wit. "I was like, I want to do drama, but it has to be funny 'cause that's what I felt what my gifts were." The pivot from comedy to her dramatic powerhouse role as Olivia Benson, affectionately dubbed America's Sweetheart Sex Cop, came through an almost mystical encounter. Visiting New York 3 times a year for theater, Hargitay was urged by friends to consult a psychic on Long Island. "Everyone said to me, 'Oh my God, Mariska, you have to meet with this psychic, he's amazing.' I drove out somewhere on Long Island to this man," she recounted. "The session was revelatory. The psychic delivered profound insights and fixated on her intense scowl when she challenged his predictions. And he said to me, 'You see that face you're doing right now? You see that face? You're gonna be famous for that face. You're moving to New York and you're going to be famous for that face.'" Skeptical, Hargitay pushed back, but the psychic was unwavering. "He looks at me and he says, 'I don't give a rat's ass what you say, you're gonna be famous for that face.'" Remarkably, 6 months later she landed SVU. 6 months later, swear to God on my children, I got SVU. 6 months later, I was walking around doing that face and going, "Where were you Tuesday night?" This story not only highlights Hargitay's journey but also parallels the what-ifs of countless stars who nearly stepped into fan-favorite roles. Glenn Powell, for instance, auditioned for multiple parts on Friday Night Lights, including the lead that Taylor Kitsch made his own. Chris Pine lost Ryan Atwood on the OC to Ben McKenzie partly due to acne struggles. "I had awful skin as a teenager, and then when I came after college my skin started breaking out again." Jason Biggs passed on Ted Mosby in How I Met Your Mother, a decision he later called his biggest regret. "I think I was in a phase. Okay, do I want to do TV?" Casting tales abound with near misses. Alden Ehrenreich was casting director David Rappaport's top choice for Dan on Gossip Girl before Penn Badgley, deemed slightly taller. Rob Lowe turned down Derek Shepherd on Grey's Anatomy, joking it cost him $70 million. "When they started calling the handsome Dr. McDreamy, I was like, yeah, that's not for me." Benedict Cumberbatch vied for Bill Compton on True Blood, while Jessica Chastain read for Sookie Stackhouse, and a teenage Jennifer Lawrence nearly became Crystal Norris. Friends nearly featured Tiffany Thiessen as Rachel Green, but she was too young. Katherine Langford auditioned for Betty Cooper on Riverdale, and Katherine Heigl was a strong contender for Jen Lindley on Dawson's Creek. Selma Blair almost snagged Joey Potter before Katie Holmes' tape sealed it. Lisa Edelstein had a contract for Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City but was backup to Sarah Jessica Parker. Ashley Olsen was eyed for Serena van der Woodsen, and Rumor Willis for Blair Waldorf on Gossip Girl. Keke Palmer tested for Iris West on The Flash, Ewan Ryan was runner-up for Jon Snow on Game of Thrones, and Chris Pratt was Josh Schwartz's pick for Chuck. Other twists include Katie Holmes meeting for Piper on Orange is the New Black, Kobe Smulders bombing Kate on Lost, Helen Hunt and Ashley Judd considered for Alicia on The Good Wife, Katie Holmes passing on Buffy, Lorraine Bracco declining Carmela Soprano, Taraji P. Henson reading for Olivia Pope, Gillian Anderson turning down Lady Cora on Downton Abbey, Ashley Simpson eyed for Elena on The Vampire Diaries, Whitney Houston offered Sandra on The Cosby Show, Dana Delaney passing on Carrie due to the title's implications, Paul Schaefer ghosting George on Seinfeld, and Thomas Jane rejecting Don Draper on Mad Men. Hargitay's reflection underscores the unpredictability of stardom. From sitcom dreams to procedural legend, her career exemplifies resilience and destiny's hand. At 60, with SVU ongoing, she embodies the face that conquered television, proving that sometimes, the roles we don't get lead to the ones that define us. Her story inspires actors everywhere. Persistence, paired with openness to change, forges paths greater than imagined. The psychic's words echo as prophecy fulfilled, a testament to how one intense expression launched a 25-year reign.